hope you guys are ready for some playoff basketball. We finished third in the West this season with 52 wins. Time to find out who we are playing. A rematch of the Western Conference semifinals a season ago. Welcome back to the road to the NBA 2K21 series on the PS5. Last time out we finished year 4 of my career with some primetime games, but today we upped the ante by returning to playoff basketball against the Nuggets to defend our Western Conference title from a season ago. The West is loaded and our first matchup is against Denver, and in last year's series we took this series in 5 games. But with the addition of RJ Hampton along with MPJ hitting his stride, they look to be a more complete team this time around. The only concern for Denver is Nikola Jokic, who injured his shoulder near the end of the season, but he'll attempt to play through it. And it offsets a little bit because former bubble god Jamal Murray, he's having a career year here in the series. Murray was actually the leader in points per game for a decent amount of the regular season, and despite shooting his high volume, he still manages to remain efficient. He's only a couple percentage points away from being a 50-40-90 player. If you didn't catch the end of last episode, me and my friends, we took home a solid amount of awards after year 4. After my 17-point, 12-assist season, I got the nod for my first All-NBA team on 13. Despite my defense taking a small step back this season, I also slipped into the second team for all defense. And looking at my friends' roads to the finals quick, Donovan and his Blazers, they travel to face Houston, who still have James Harden. A tough task, but sporting the number 1 rebounding and 3-point shooting team, Portland matches up very well to the Rockets. Donovan's coming off his 4th consecutive All-Star game, and while he reached second team All-NBA and first team All-Defense, he and Anthony Davis were narrowly beat out for DPOY. We've talked about the Mavericks this season for their inconsistency, but they come into postseason play hot. They've won 7 of 8 to almost jump us in the standings, but we were able to hold them off as they finished 4th. It's just a matter of what Dallas team you're going to get each night, but Deshaun loves to win, and coming off his 3rd All-Star game and joining me on All-NBA 3rd team overall, he has another great season to put under his belt and take into the playoffs. The Lakers are the 7th seed. They battle their heated rival, the Clippers, and that series is on our half of the bracket, so whoever makes it out unscathed, that could be our next matchup if we hold off Denver. Los Angeles has underachieved a bit this season. Father Time may be catching up to LeBron, and their young talent didn't play as well. But you could say King James has passed the torch to Ferran in a sense, as my good buddy Ferran, he has a career high in points this season, while making All-Star game number 3 and appearing on All-NBA second teams for defense and overall play. A big storyline coming into postseason play was the New Orleans Pelicans only going around 500 after the All-Star break that fell off a little bit. But let's see if we can turn things around, turn around our fortunes, and put together some great performances against the Nuggets in round 1. The road to the NBA 2K21 series? No. The road to the NBA Finals series. It begins again, now.
No turning back, yeah. Ain't no turning back now, nah. No time to waste. I do my thing, cutting checks, what a lane, yeah. I won't ever back down, nah. That won't ever change. Ain't no turning back now.
This environment is insane tonight. I love playing here, and it even holds more weight with how good we've been at home this season. I know this video is long, but trust me, you want to stick around till the very end. The games in this video get progressively better and better, and there's some plays you do not want to miss. One last thing to cover, I changed the playoff length this year. Every series is going to be a best of 5. I didn't like how I had to simulate some games on 2K20, so every series being 5 games, it gives me the chance to post the first 4 in a single video and live stream a game 5 as necessary. And we're ready to get underway tonight. New Orleans stand up, ready to defend our Western Conference title from a season ago. Let's get it started tonight, boys. And another thing I'm experimenting with is I'm going with 11-minute quarters here in the playoffs, seeing how it differs from 10. I'm going for realism, as you guys know. Kaylee works it to Josh Hart on the first possession, and that didn't take long, did it? Josh Hart nails a 3. And he's faced a lot of scrutiny this season, a lot of criticism with the way he's been playing, but he sets his best foot forward, and Jamal Murray, my matchup, he switched to 2-guard this year, but head coach Anthony Thornton says, I want you on him. So it's going to be my job to try to slow him down. 5-2, receiving a screen from AD. That jump shot's a little long, but with AD averaging north of 10 rebounds a game, he gives us another chance there. No good, but the third opportunity, is also provided by the Brow. So I take MPJ to the rim, and that one is sent back. I went with the floater on the baseline. And one thing I was quickly acquainted with against Denver tonight is that some looks I get against other teams, the Nuggets were just not giving me due to their defense. But assist number 2 is recorded there courtesy of Anthony Davis. Now let's jump to the second quarter now. Denver holding a slim advantage as AD works into the post. That one was well short. Michael Porter Jr. is definitely a mismatch that he can handle, so he's got to go to work. And Jamal Murray finds himself wide open in the corner. I tried to provide help in the backcourt and pressure Gary Harris along with Richaun Holmes, but he made a nice pass there over our outstretched arms, and Murray's off to a hot start, and I got to get a little creative to fix my slow start. Going backdoor there with Anthony Davis, a great look there. 33-26 Denver with 6 minutes left to go in the second. Now 35-28 as I record my first rebound off of a Denver miss, and I take this one to the rack, and finally I don't get blocked. Starting out this game on a pretty up and down pace. I mean, 2 of 5, 2 shots have been blocked of mine. 39-30 New Orleans. We have to start to get some traction on offense as I try to dish inside to Richaun Holmes, but turnover number 3 already for myself. And I'm telling Richaun Holmes, hey, I want to switch this matchup, but he does not notice it in time. And Nikola Jokic is able to slip to the rim easy, and that's the best look either side's going to have all night. So New Orleans looking a little out of sorts here to begin year 4's playoffs, down by double digits as we near the end of the second half, and I would get taken out here. We all know New Orleans looked a little out of sorts down the stretch in the regular season, but I don't think anybody expected us to be down 22 points at the end of the first half. What a pathetic showing from your Pelicans. Things were looking pretty good to begin. Took me a bit to find my bearings, but our defense was airtight. But it was only a matter of time before Denver got going, and they didn't look back. 11 unanswered points to extend their lead to 22. The only player that's above 4 points for us is Aaron Catley, and he's 2 for 8 shooting. Hart's 1 of 6. The Brow only has 4 shot attempts. This was a forgettable half, to say the least, and if New Orleans wants to return to the finals, they need to play smarter basketball. Jamal Murray has 11, but he's taken 13 shots. The defense hasn't been too shabby. And there is finally an assist, not coming easy for Anthony Davis still, but up to 6 points as we try to cut into this lead a little bit. 61-39, still plenty of time to turn things around as Catley fires. He was solid in the first half, but he's missed his first 3 shot attempts here in the second, and now the rookie guard RJ Hampton, I trap him, take it away, and I'm diving on the floor. We're faced with some pretty tough adversity here, but I'm not giving up just yet. Catley controls the tempo, gives it back to me, up fake to get RJ Hampton, and look at that dish. Assist number 5. Gotta get Anthony Davis more looks. I should have went to him earlier, but as long as we keep making plays like this, even if it's a loss tonight, we gotta keep playing hard to try to take some momentum into game 2. I don't have many more plays to show for you guys tonight as we jump to the fourth quarter. Not much has changed. Denver has grown their lead near 30. Now Monte Morris is my matchup as I finally find some open space to shoot without any pressure. It's been so hard to find tonight, not just for me but for anybody. Denver has been swarming. 88-63. Looks like game 1 is going to be coming to a painful loss, but not before a nice alley-oop here for the fans. The few fans that are still left. This was very painful to look at, just looking at the stands and seeing so many empty seats before this game came to its conclusion. A 30-point loss, and this was a feeling that I did not want to have to replicate through the rest of this series. Gotta just keep working hard and have a short memory of this night. 105-75 is how your Pelicans make their next-gen playoff debut, and not much more I can say about tonight, especially for my own performance. There's not many times that I can recall where I don't have either my scoring, my assisting, or my defense, but tonight was one of those nights. Only 12 points, 6 of 17 from the floor, 6 assists, barely half of my average on the year, and 7 turnovers. All throughout, just ugly box scores for everybody on the Pelicans, and Jamal Murray had 27. So, nowhere to go but up here, hopefully, for the Pelicans. But as we look at the other game 1s across the Western Conference, Donovan in Portland took care of Houston at home. And Deshaun and the Dallas Mavericks, they got to face the number 1 defense in the NBA in Utah. So only 92 points for the Mavericks in game 1 as they take the loss. 14-10 for Deshaun. And Ferran had a great performance, 7 of 11 from the floor, 19 points in only 23 minutes, but unfortunately the Lakers came up short. And as the starting lineups were introduced, I was met with a pretty decently sized surprise. I'm of course announced along with Anthony Davis, Richaun Holmes, and Aaron Catley, but Josh Hart is not to be seen coming out with his name announced. It's Otto Porter starting at the 3. I believe the reason why head coach Anthony Thornton's going with Porter this time around is, for one, Josh Hart versus Paul Millsap. That's a pretty tough matchup just by size and Millsap's physicality. Otto Porter should be able to hang with him a little bit better. And of course, Hart's been so inconsistent this year. He shot 1 of 8 in game 1. So let's see how Otto Porter does in his first start as a Pelican, and immediately off the catch and shoot opportunity, he fed the ball into Anthony Davis and just caught it right back from 15 feet open. And Otto Porter, it was a nice feat to find Davis in there. His unselfish play has been really impressive to watch this season. So a nice assist there, and when unselfish basketball is played, it becomes contagious as Aaron Catley now once again knocks in his first shot attempt just like game 1. He didn't finish game 1 very well, but hopefully that is a sign of things to come as AD rolls off the screen and roll. And he puts in one there, had positioning on Michael Porter, and it was just that simple. 6-9 as I give this one to Aaron Catley. A lot of dribbling here between me and him as he fades. I wanted to take the ISO on MPJ, and steady fires and rims one in. Extending the lead to 6 here in the early goings. In New Orleans, off to a picture-perfect start in terms of offense. And now I'm driving and slamming one down on the Denver defense. Speaking of slow starts from game 1, I'm definitely somebody that needs to get off to a better one. 18-12, coming off a screen, bit of a tough shot, but I get it to go. Courtesy of Otto Porter and Anthony Davis setting me those screens. 3 of 5 to start the game, 6 points and 3 assists, a much better start this time around, and another take as I drop this one off to Okafor coming off the bench, no good there, but Josh Hart who checks in as well. He hits a 3. With Hart getting the transition to the bench, it's going to be very interesting to see if he rises to the occasion or if he shies away and plays with his head down. But Denver, once again, they've made a run to get out big in the first game of this series, and now they're going on a similar run here to cut it to 1, 35-34. Nice shot from Jamal Murray as Otto Porter comes off a screen. Oh, I didn't want him to take that. Instead, I'll take a screen from Richaun Holmes and finish another one. I'll make a Baby J on the next possession to give me 11 points and 4 assists. So, already more than halfway to my total of my assists in game 1, and Holmes climbs the ladder to put back Paul Millsap's shot, and immediately I took off for another easy look. As that's been really the name of the game for New Orleans on offense today, doing a lot better job of finding our shots open. AD misfires, and Richaun Holmes, we gotta show him some love. He's near a double-double already in the first half. He entered the break with 9 points and 10 rebounds. Wow, great work from the big fella as we're about to head into the first half break, up 3. Overall, tonight's just been a much better game of basketball to the common viewer, regardless of the lead. I mean, there's been less turnovers for each team, exciting plays, and solid offensive sequences. I lead all scorers with 13, Jamal Murray is second with 12. I've also tacked on 4 assists with only 1 turnover, which has been a far cry from my 7 I had in game 1. I've enjoyed a much better performance, but so has Jamal Murray. Anthony Davis hasn't had to do too much, only 6 points making half of his shots, as our bench has much improved from game 1 as well. 10 from Nikola Jokic. Jahlil Okafor has made 4 shots, but the matchup everybody has their eyes on is Otto Porter versus Josh Hart. Porter has 2 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, and has taken and made his only attempt. Porter's playing very smart, positive plays every time the rock goes his way, as Denver goes for the tie, no good there, and Holmes up to 11 rebounds. So we're looking to push this lead past 1 possession as Catley actually feeds me in the post, and I put my shoulder into Murray and draw some free throws. Finally in this series, I'm heading to the line. And while I take this trip to the charity stripe, let's talk about Josh Hart as well. Compared to Otto Porter, he's played 10 minutes, which is still a solid amount of time. He's 2 for 6 on the game, resulting in 6 points and 3 assists, and he's really helping the bench hold down the fort. And I would also step up and hit 2 of 2, so a 5-point lead for New Orleans. 9:16 left to go, only a few minutes off the clock here in the second as Caitley tries to go back door with the lob. That one's deflected, but we retake possession, and Caitley this time makes a much smarter play with a 3-ball made. About as unconventional of a possession ending in a 3-ball as you're going to find, but sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. And now Otto Porter goes back door for his second field goal. Very nice play drawn up there by head coach. And now in this possession, we're going back to the pick and roll offense that we shot away from recently, and Bull switches on to me, which can be a scary sight due to his length, but I use my maneuverability and get around Bull. And I also finish at the rim on top of Nikola Jokic. Finally a shot where I do not get blocked. A 5-point lead as we trim the time down to only one last possession. 6 seconds to go as Jamal Murray drives. And I step in, take that charge on the chin. And we're starting to see more and more tough defensive possessions for the Pelicans. And we also have 5 seconds left to operate. Immediately I take the inbound behind the back. And I cross over, Euro step, changing hands to take us into the fourth quarter. Let's go. An amazing move at the rim. Look at this one in slow motion. Already up to 21 points as I've almost doubled my output from game 1. Talk about a response game for myself and my New Orleans teammates. We're up by 7 going into the fourth. Can we hold on? Let's find out. Denver with 2 quick baskets as my matchup is RJ Hampton, the rookie, and I'm looking to take advantage, making the rookie very uncomfortable here in his first playoff series. That one's taken away. Aaron Caitley with the jumper. That one's a little long. Hitting a bit of an offensive rut as Josh Hart has missed 2 shots here in the fourth. Now Caitley joins him, and Hampton, struggling to deal with my pressure, steps on the end line. 84-87 as Nikola Jokic checks back in. And this is the fact that we need to really take advantage whenever Jamal Murray is not on the floor, as they continue to go with RJ Hampton at the 2-guard position. Nice screen from AD, a little kick out as he puts Gary Harris on his back hip. What a take at the rim. Wow, challenged by Michael Porter rather. I keep doing that. I keep calling them the wrong name, but he was challenged at the rim by Michael Porter and somehow still finished. 91-85 as Hampton tries to make up for his turnovers. And that one just rims out. We catch a break there. Up by 6 and no one stops the ball. So I'll take this one all the way and narrowly miss an and one. After having my lowest free throw percentage of my career here in year 4, 79% in the regular season, which is still solid but a little low by my tastes, haven't had any issues tonight. 6 of 7 as Jamal Murray checks in, ready to go back to battle. But one factor I have not brought up enough tonight, or at all really, is that I've had 3 personal fouls so far. I've already recorded one here in the fourth, giving me 4 on the night as Gary Harris goes to work. A little spin, good contest, forcing him into a miss. But the refs call me for my 5th personal, my 2nd of the fourth quarter. And taking a look at this one in slow-mo, Gary Harris was not even touched. An unreal call goes against New Orleans. And so far in each game of this series, the free throw differential has been huge in favor of the Nuggets. Denver shot 8 more free throws than we did in game 1, and they've taken 9 more than we have tonight. But to quote Rasheed Wallace, ball don't lie, as Gary Harris misses the second, and AD puts his chin right into Michael Porter and finishes going down the baseline. How about assist number 8 for myself? Way to go, Brow, getting those points right back. As we switch up, go down to crunch time, 101-94. This is a must-win for us. In a best-of-5 series, we cannot go down 2 games and have to win 3 in a row, 2 of which would be in Denver theoretically. And after another miss by Jokic, he hasn't had it tonight. I'll take this one, looking for the dagger is Caitley, and he hits! Wow! Aaron Caitley has also had a response game, our former college teammate coming up big. We won a title back in Texas together. We're looking for one here at the pro level as well, but Harris will have something to say about that along with his Nuggets teammates. A couple huge shots to cut this thing back to 3, and Denver is not going away anytime soon. Still a 1-possession game. Right now the clock is our friend at this point in the game. A double screen as AD slips, but Caitley stands strong, gives me a good one as he pops. This one is well short from free throw line extended, but AD is there to collect and put it in. Plus the foul. Nikola Jokic tagged for 1, and it's finally nice to have a call go our way. At least in the foul disparity, it's been night and day how many free throws Denver has shot compared to us. But the MVP and DPOY candidate, the brow, puts the finishing touches on that three-point play. Let's see, did we finally put away Denver? We need a score here as the trap comes. Adjacent corner, Kately. He'll stroke it again. That one's a little long. And Denver quick the other way. Jamal Murray was leaking out. He took a page out of my playbook and beat everybody up the floor to slam one down. He's done such a good job this series finding shots away from me, whether it's at the free throw line or just getting out on the open floor. But with the response is Anthony Davis. If you know us, we don't care what type of game this is, the magnitude, what the situation is. We're going to lob anytime we need a basket, whether it's for show or if it's to put us over the top. But speaking of that, we're not over the top just yet. How about Nikola Jokic with a three-point play for the other guys? A shot here can trim it to one possession yet again. Denver does not want to go away no matter what we do. And Jokic knocks it through. So we've had some great shots from threes, some slams, some oops, but it's going to come down to the old-fashioned free throws. And when I step up, I hear something I never would have ever expected in this series. I had to let that play out, those MVP chants. Never in this series would I have ever expected my virtual player to ever receive MVP chants, but I used those chants to fuel me to knocking down both free throws and taking this game by 8. 32 points, 10 assists. Talk about a response game from game 1, that horrific performance. I turned from 0 to hero in this game. Aaron Kately had 21. He was also crucial for this win. AD did enough on offense, and Richaun Holmes got to show him some love. 10 and 19. How about that performance as well? A crazy game 2 had some lobs, some huge shots, and Denver seemingly never wanted to go away at the end. But the free throw battle, that's what set us apart. So let's travel out to Denver for game 3. Equally as important as a game 2 in a 5-game series, just based on the fact that whoever wins this game is one win away from advancing. So beginning us off, going into the post, the double team comes, so I cut back door. What a feed from AD to get us off on the right foot. We had an impeccable home record this year, but we were only around 500 away from the Smoothie King Center. So that's going to be a big factor going forward here in this series. Nice job by AD, extorting that contact, but once again, a bump and no whistle for us. That's been a common occurrence this series. On the other side of things, Jamal Murray barely gets touched on this baseline drive. And of course, he's going to the line. So that trend continues of just these fouls going against New Orleans. 15-12 now. Been a competitive first quarter as AD tries to battle. He'll dish it off to Otto Porter from 7 feet out. Every time Otto Porter has touched the ball, he's made a positive play. He's not doing anything too great. He's not winning us these games, but he's doing enough and not losing us these games as well. 32 all as we enter the second quarter. Nice screen from AD. He's going baseline. He's not open though. Little spin jumper, and there's a green light. I was open there for a second off of Anthony Davis's initial pick, but I made that shot a little bit harder than it had to be. But still a solid start for me today. 4 and 3, 50% of my shots have gone, and that percentage is only going up with a nice take there. As we start to go forward, the Pelicans slowly figuring out this Denver defense up to 60% as a team, and Richaun Holmes helps me out with Jamal Murray here a bit. As we are looking to run, but obviously as you can see we do not have the numbers, so I'm waiting for that trailer, and it's AD, a lucky fortunate series of events there, as I did not have that shot or that pass stolen by Paul Millsap. And now assist number 5 is recorded as Jamal Murray goes to work. And this one, I don't know, I've got him a little bit on the body, but still another chippy call there from the refs as he knocks down 1 of 2, and we're looking to run. Starting 5 out on the floor plus Josh Hart as Kately fires and will knock this one down. Aaron's had his fair share of big shots here in the series. His percentage is low, but we'll take them when they come. 50-49. Denver still looking to add to their lead as I pressure RJ Hampton again. I go right, swing back left, and I shovel that layup in there, knocking over Jamal Murray. You're not getting that call, man. Come on now. You've gotten enough. You're not getting that charge. Still going with 4 starters down the stretch, as the only starter in the game for Denver is Jamal Murray. As with 8 seconds left to shoot, Anthony Davis can't muster much in the post, so I gotta go to work, and I get absolutely speared on this drive to the rim. And once again, I hear no whistle. But I just lofted the ball up there, prayed for the best, and it went down. 12 points for me on the night. This game is shaping up like it's going to be another good one tonight, much like game 2. A lot of lead changes, back and forth play as I drive, and look at Josh Hart moving smartly to the cup and finishing. And despite being moved to the bench, Josh Hart has still risen to the occasion. Still a lot of smiles from his way, and him doing his signature celebration as we head into halftime. We're down 1, but this series is shaping up to be competitive after the onslaught that was game 1. New Orleans has done a lot more run and gun today than we've seen, resulting in 58 points and 17 team assists. And their one caveat is 7 turnovers, 3 of which have come from myself. I think the Nuggets hold the advantage just because they've made 12 free throws and we've only attempted 6. Another eye-opening disparity from the line. Anthony Davis is finally back in peak unibrow form, 16 points, 8 rebounds. I went his direction early for baskets and he hasn't slowed down. I've got 12 and 7 dimes plus a steal, 60% from the floor. Otto Porter's been rock solid again, 9 points, only missing a single shot. And Josh Hart leads the bench again with 6 points. Murray's been creative in finding looks when he's been away from me, 18 points for Jamal. Bull has 11. Jokic is on triple-double watch with 8 points, 4 assists, and 4 rebounds. And Porter getting after it again for a second steal, and it leads to a unibrow flush. Wow. Anthony Davis, that's one way to swing the tides in your favor a bit. Denver would respond though, they'd make a couple shots in a row. They have a 3-point lead as Jokic misses again. He's done a good job playing all-around ball today, but this is the first time where we're really starting to see his injury take a toll on him. Only 40% from the floor. Me, on the other hand, I'm up above 60 with that drive to the rim. Coming into this playoff matchup, I really expected more defense from these two clubs, but the offenses have really taken control of a lot of high-scoring affairs. But how about a block from behind? AD, lucky he didn't get called for a foul. And right when I talk about this defense, we start to play some. As Gary Harris also tries to take a charge, I knock him over as well. And once again, I just cannot convert an and one apparently, as the rim is unfriendly again to me. So the first one is good here. Once again, no problems from the line, and there's Marcos Silva, and Anthony Davis checks out in favor of Jahlil Okafor down the stretch here in the third. 81-79, as I actually hit the bench myself for a little bit. Come back in, still holding a slim lead. Jamal Murray coming off a screen, and I saw that one. I read that one like a book, and AD, this time no lob, just a simple feed with my offhand this time, and he still gets it to go. 2 points is 2 points. 2 shots in a row from Denver. Once again, only down by 1. I'm open. This one's a little bit long, and it rims out, but AD, he will recover for a tough finish. But as Will Barton eased the ball back up the other way, a little bit of a miscommunication between me and Luzada Silva. I want him to take Hampton, but he sticks on Murray, and he leaves him open immediately right when I leave that area. Jamal Murray up to 30 points, and that's really one we can't afford as he ties back up at 85. A screen from AD on the other side, it gives me a little bit of space, but AD, instead of rolling, they were looking for it, so a smart play to pop, and he had all the room in the world to get it done. How about Anthony Davis's third tray ball? And now Denver takes over in desperate need of something to keep it close as Jamal all of a sudden blows by me and lifts off. Jamal Murray in line for a career night tonight, puts me on a poster, but I'm not scared to take it back the other way. A little cross, shifty, a finish to take us into the fourth quarter, still up 5. That's how you respond from getting dunked on right there. A perfect take to the cup, avoiding multiple white jerseys. And as we head to the fourth in this monumental game 3, we're going to kick things off going to the Brow's direction. He's got the height mismatch, but he makes the extra pass. Kately a little short, but he's got the collecting. AD gives it back to me. Play a little hot potato here in the post, and it works out well. The Brow scores again, and New Orleans is up to a 5-point advantage. Jamal Murray is just such a tough mismatch for me. I mean, he's got almost 5 inches of height on me, and he hits another one. He's up to 36 for the night, 18 in the first, 18 in the second. So 94-91. We still got the lead. We're still in control as another backdoor cut. And we do it again. How about Anthony Davis? Time and time again tonight, we've seen the Brow keep his eyes up in the post and make plenty of nice passes. And that's one we'd see from his counterpartner. The slick passing Serbian Nikola Jokic would make a dish like that, but AD, he emulates him a little bit there. 96-91. I got a little bit of space to operate on the baseline, and finally a floater that does not get blocked. My first 3 attempted here in the playoff series have all been rejected, but finally I get one off cleanly. A rugged defensive possession for us. Denver has to force one up from Nikola Jokic on the baseline, and an unfriendly roll for him there. We catch a break, and I'm pushing the tempo. Kately launches and hits. How about that basket from Aaron Kately? Coming through again. As Jamal Murray, he might have 38 points, but I also have 24 and 12, so I'm making it competitive on the stat sheet, but that jam gives him 40. Just all of a sudden, Jamal Murray would get these crazy speed boosts and just knock my player out of the way. Not much I can do about that one. And this is reminding me a lot of game 2. We can't let Denver get back into this and almost beat us on a comeback. We have to close the book now. And Kately left unattended. Got it again. Let's go. How about dime number 13? Finally, I was looking for that game where I reached my average of dimes. And on the very next possession, I knocked that one away from Gary Harris. Throwing up the oop. AD catches and throws it down. And in the same fashion that I was finally looking for a huge assist night here in the playoffs, Anthony Davis was looking to get things back on track to the unibrow that we know and love, and he's done that tonight. 6 seconds left to go. We're milking this clock a little bit as I got Millsap on me. I take this one to the cup, a little dish, a high pass, but Richaun Holmes corrals it with soft hands and puts it in. That assist is completely credited to Holmes being able to handle that pass and put it in. An 8-point advantage as I go to Holmes again at the end of the shot clock. Not a good possession that time. And once again, Denver, just like game 2, they're going to try to make things competitive down the stretch. That was a very bad foul. No chance to blame the refs there. I should have just let Gary Harris go and gave up the 2, but I got greedy. Went for the pass, and I fouled him on the layup. Reminiscing on game 2, how Denver almost came back and won. They would not go away. And they're doing the same thing here tonight, a 4-point game. As AD gives it to me, I'm open. Instead, I'll give it to Kately, and he does not want that screen. He'll instead, with a boatload of confidence, jack one up and hit another. Kately with his third 3-ball of the 4th. And my college teammate has been absolutely clutch tonight. And with one more possession to close things out, this time I'm going to go to myself for a 3. A step back for my first 3 of the series. Not much of a 3-point shooter, but I had to shoot one up there, and it goes regardless. 119 to 109. What an offensive showing for the Pelicans and myself. One of my best career games, I'd say. 34 and 16 from AD, and I had his back with 24 or 27 after that 3 and 18 assists, along with a boatload of steals. And how about Aaron Kately, the hero? Jamal Murray had 49, but as I said before in previous videos, it seems like whenever teams have one guy doing all the scoring, most of the time, that team doesn't win, at least in the NBA. So looking at the playoff tree, we got Portland up 3-0. They swept Houston 102 to 100. They close out the Rockets thanks to a very nice performance from Donovan Gray, leading Portland in points. And Dallas has responded nicely. They've won 2 in a row to come back on Utah, up 2-1, so now they're just 1 game away from making the second round. Deshaun with a near triple-double, and Ferran coming back big as the Lakers faced elimination, but in that elimination game, they had a huge fourth quarter comeback. Ferran had 20 in the overtime loss in game 2, but in the game 3 win, he had 24. So retaking the hardwood here in Denver, this is the game where all hell broke loose. If you stayed around the entire episode, this is your reward, because this game, man, I hope you're ready for what comes next. Will New Orleans win game 4 and we can move on to the second round without an issue? Or will we go to game 5, a deciding game 5, which I will be live streaming if we can't come up with the win tonight? Otto Porter will get things underway with a beautiful take to the hole. A nice little cross, high off the glass, and we get things underway. Otto Porter averaging 5 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, and a steal in this series. Just solid play overall. Not trying to do too much, he's just filling the role as a glue guy. A basket apiece for each team as I hand this one off to Davis, who created a second chance on this possession, and we made the most of it. Anthony Davis and I, we both rebounded well from our tough game 1s, both averaging 23.7 points per game through the first 3 games of this series. Now Jamal Murray tries one, coming off of his 40-plus point performance, can't get that one to go. An early 6-4 advantage for New Orleans as I take this one strong to the cup, hit from behind, and a whistle goes our way to start things off tonight. Shooting 87% from the line so far this series, 14 of 16. So it looks like my free throws are back in order as I try to improve those percentages. And this one is a little bit long, 93%, slightly late timing. Surprising miss right there, as that's only my 3rd missed free throw of the entire series. This one's only at 67%, but rattles home. So an interesting pair of free throws there for sure. And now the Brow will step to the line for a pair of free throws, and just like me, he goes 1 of 2. 10-6 game, a decent start for us, especially on the defensive side of the floor, as I'm a little too aggressive with Monte Morris, as Josh Hart and Marcos Luzada-Silva checks in along with the rest of the bench after that errant foul. So I'll come back in, down 2, 23-25, we trail as our first possession of the second quarter gets underway. As Aaron Catley tries to take Murray off the dribble, a little up fake, and that one's sent back. So Catley still looking for his first field goal. He's starting this game 0 of 4. Nikola Jokic recording the block. Despite his struggles on offense, he's up near 3 blocks a game as he records another one right there. Anthony Davis hits the deck, and that provides some good numbers on the break for Denver to take advantage of. And they do right there with Murray. 33 points a game for Jamal Murray, 3.5 assists on the series so far. He's open again. That one's a little off. This game 4 game flow so far is starting to remind me of the game 1 blowout we took to the hands of Denver. Both teams start out a little bit slow as I make a layup there for my first field goal finally. But as the second quarter came around, Denver smoked us and we never got the offense going. We're going to have to turn things around if we don't want to emulate that game 1 performance, and the playmaking is there at least tonight. We didn't have that in game 1, didn't play much as a team, but at least the assist numbers are high. Nice pass from Otto Porter to Anthony Davis, who dunks it down. And now Richaun Holmes steals the entry pass to Jokic. As I'm scanning the floor looking for a teammate, I decide to pull it out as Gary Harris checks me. He's cold right now, so I'm thinking, hey, why not run a play for myself? A double screen, opening myself up on the baseline. Another field goal goes for me. Another 2 of 4 starts, just like last game. I'm trying to give everybody a touch on this offensive possession as Otto Porter with an ill-advised lob attempt there. A rare turnover, a rare mistake at all for Otto Porter, and now Gary Harris is left unattended. I come in and I charge at him. I wanted Catley to switch with me. He didn't want to, so I just attacked the ball and I come up with it, and it leads to a lob on the other end. AD, let's go. Come on, Otto Porter. That's how you lob. Come on, man. Got to put some touch on it. 34-33 as Jamal Murray misfires. Definitely not as fast of a start for him tonight as there was for him in game 3. He's now trying to power through him there, but he cuts me off. So I pull it out. And I decide, let's go with the quick hitter play here. A V-cut for Otto Porter. He decides to pull it, and he knocks it through. A huge shot to retake the lead. Otto Porter, his impact cannot be understated. His stats on paper don't jump out at you, but he's just been an anchor for us at the small forward position. And just like at halftime for Game 3, Denver holds a 1-point lead tonight here in Game 4. Both teams aren't shooting the greatest due to well-coached defense. It's been surprising we haven't seen more defensive gridlocks here this series, just knowing these two teams and how they play. As both sides are settling for their looks, New Orleans is only shooting 3 for 15 from deep, and Denver is a measly 4 for 14. Once again, the Pels have the advantage on the glass, just like they have in every game of the series since Game 1, and because of Holmes and Anthony Davis averaging 27 rebounds a game combined in this series, 14 for Richon and 13 for Davis. At this point, it's just about playing as a team. The unibrow started sluggish, 2 of 7 to start, but he's made 2 of 3 to enter the half. 9 and 7 are his totals. Josh Hart surprisingly has 8 off the bench again, our second leading scorer. And that's definitely something to watch out for. Coach Thornton with Josh Hart's improved play. Who does he go with today? Otto Porter or Hart? As Gary Harris hits the 5th 3 ball as a team for Denver as they improve to 5 for 15 from deep. 49-45 as I cut again. This time Denver was looking for the back door. Instead, Otto Porter will try it, and he'll knock another one through. 5 points, 5 assists for myself. I'm 2 of 4 from the field while also chipping in a steal, compared to Jamal Murray, who has 14 but has taken 14 shots as well. 51-50, a rebound is secured as Catley is running, and there is a nice shot. But Catley, 1 of 7 from the field so far tonight. He was held scoreless in the first half. He's got to get it going, or maybe Josh Hart has to come in for him instead of Otto Porter. We look out with a stop there as Monte Morris nearly makes a 3. Coming back the other way, I get stopped. And Josh Hart checks in for the struggling Catley, along with Luzada Silva and Melly, as Josh Hart, whoa, lifts off. He goes aerial for a jam. And Josh Hart is up to double figures, and he can improve on those totals with a free throw. That one's a little long, but that shouldn't take away from his great performances since moving to the bench. But RJ Hampton has also had a great performance off the bench. Hampton, the rookie who has had a nightmare of a series so far, he's up to 16 points tonight with his third made tray ball. As now we're down by 2, trying to take this one baseline. Nice job going around Monte Morris. As I use my body to protect the basketball going through the teeth of the defense, and I'm starting to become a little bit more acquainted with the game flow tonight, up to 7 points with 8 assists. Trailing by 3, Luzada Silva, Jahlil Okafor, Nikola Jokic, and Josh Hart are your 5 for the Pelicans on the floor. As I take this one left, go back right, a little dish off to Jahlil Okafor, a little short on the post hook, but he knew exactly where I was after grabbing his own miss. Me and Jahlil Okafor have a bit of hidden chemistry ever since our days of being roommates back in my rookie year. Okafor has also had a very solid series, 8.5 points, 3 rebounds for him off the bench. Very important couple minutes he brings to the table every night, but picking and popping as Denver goes with the inverted pick and roll. Jokic assists to Monte Morris, and Denver has a lead of 4. And Anthony Thornton will burn a timeout. With 1:41 left to go in the third period of play, Denver leads by 4, and the Nuggets find themselves in a similar situation to what we found ourselves in these last 2 games that we've come out victorious on. Denver has never made it easy for us. I mean, every time we got a pretty solidified lead, Denver scrapped and clawed their way back into each game. So now, we try to do the same as they did these last 2 games and not make it easy for them and complete the comeback, and Luzada Silva gets us started on the right path. Our 6-man Marcos Luzada Silva has been such a key factor. How about 7 points and 6 rebounds a game for him in this series off the bench? And now he is off a screen, catches it cleanly, and this one is launched and hit once again. Luzada Silva up to 13. And would it be surprising if I said that he's actually your leading scorer for the Pelicans so far, and only 12 minutes played? As inside, there's JaMychal Green, that slams one down, so Denver's still up by 3. Still plenty of time to operate. I don't gotta go quick as Josh Hart smartly resets the ball to myself, 12 seconds. As I survey the floor, Gary Harris guarding me closely, and with Marcos Luzada Silva hot, we set up a design play for him. He's open, and he hits again! How about 8 unanswered points from Luzada Silva, and this should be 69-69 game going into the 4th. But Gary Harris, he might have just taken the lead right back with a prayer. Whoa, we're gonna have to take a second look at that. Luzada Silva, what a spurt from the second-year pro from Brazil. But he needs to take a step aside for 1 second as Harris with a dirty shot from about 60 feet. But on further review, Gary Harris just a tad too tardy with his shot attempt. We catch a break there, and thanks to that man right there, Luzada Silva, you're leader in points through 3 quarters for the Pelicans despite only playing 13 minutes. We got a chance to close out the Nuggets here. It's still a tie game, anybody's game. I told you guys at the beginning of game 4, this was the craziest game perhaps in the entire series. All hell breaks loose here in this 4th quarter. Let's buckle up and get started. Starting out the 4th quarter, the starters check back in, so we're trying to run a quick hitter for 3. This one's for Kately, cannot hit as now he falls to 1 of 10 shooting here in the game as Richaun Holmes is there, and look at him displaying some power and some fight on the glass. Richaun Holmes, that workhorse we all know and love, a beast on either side of the glass. 71-69, your Pelicans out in front, but Murray, he begins this 4th quarter with a drive. He's just so physical around the rim, so tough to stop, up to 20 points for Jamal Murray. Now under 10 to play as he receives a screen, and for some reason AD is left unattended in the middle of the paint. Probably the easiest assist we're going to have all night. The young gun Michael Porter hits a jump shot, tying things back up at 73 as Otto Porter takes this one to the heart of the paint, and this one is a little off, but he draws the foul from Paul Millsap, and he'll step to the line, missing the front end. We need every point right now, but in bigger news, Marcos Luzada Silva checks in. 16 points to his name, and I guess to answer that question I asked at halftime, was Coach Thornton going to go with Josh Hart, or was he going to go with Otto Porter? Well, I guess none of the above. He's going to go with both. But Jamal Murray fading off balance. Wow, what a shot as he nears 30 points. I've done a very good job limiting Jamal Murray's attempts from 3 today compared to game 3, but that one he tags me, not much I can do. And on the next time up the floor for Denver, check out this take. I thought Otto Porter drew that charge cleanly, but the ref thought otherwise. Another call goes against us, and Paul Millsap will drive, and that one's sent back. Alright, Anthony Davis coming up big. Former DPOI winner here in this series, and he's making his impact felt, and Bull was not ready for that lob on the baseline. Let's go. And that lob was assist number 13 for me on the night. 9 of those dimes have come in the second half. Luzada Silva will receive this pass and go into the post to Anthony Davis, who's trapped once again. He's done a great job this series finding his teammates. He finds me, I drive, bump, foul, plus the basket. Big time players make big time plays, and that's what I'm trying to do down the stretch here. Harris with the hack and a soft kiss off the window. That will drop, and after all of the one-sided calls this series, that one felt very cathartic. So I knocked down the free throw once again, no issues from the line. We trimmed the lead to 2, and after Paul Millsap misses a jump shot, he continues to struggle here in game 4. And Richaun Holmes has a mismatch on the interior he takes advantage of. Holmes, 8.5 points, 14 rebounds, and 1.5 blocks. Just like last year, his performance in the playoffs has been amazing so far. And an interesting switch here for Coach Anthony Thornton. He puts in Luguentz Dort for some minutes. He wants some more defense played on the floor, I suppose. Luguentz Dort hasn't played much for us all season, but he comes off the bench, receives a pass. He'll actually shoot this one and hits. Whoa! Luguentz Dort has taken the lead for New Orleans. Out of nowhere, the unsung heroes for the Pelicans have played a huge role as Jokic fires. He misses. But you want to talk about Richaun Holmes, Marcos Luzada Silva, Luguentz Dort, everybody stepping up for New Orleans, and that's why they're still in this game. 86-85, as Otto Porter, another hero from this series, receives the pass, rotates it to Luguentz Dort, now out to me, and I decide to chuck one up, and it falls through. Another tray ball for New Orleans. 15-6 run for the Pelicans right now. Only my second made tray ball of the series, and it could not have come at a better time. And Jamal Murray, however, one-ups me on this take to the hole. Otto Porter, a tad too slow on the defensive rotation. and I've just had struggles stopping Murray's drives all series long as Dort checks out after a valiant effort. So this offensive possession gets started with Otto Porter receiving the first pass again. Now a screen from AD, can't muster much room as the trap actually comes, and check out the heads up play by Anthony Davis to weave his way, tightrope the baseline, come around the trap behind me, and he was wide open. Such a heads up play there. Such a smart player AD is. 91-88 as Jamal Murray's pressured, gives it around to Michael Porter, nearly stealing that pass. Ooh, that could have been a huge swing of momentum, but we'll do it again with 6 seconds left to go. Murray passed me a floater. That one is sent to the crowd. I already have a rare three-pointer made here in the fourth quarter, and now a block to go with it. I guess we're filling out all the anomalies here just down the stretch, but the block shot doesn't mean anything if we can't get a stop. Murray missing, but Jokic is there. He misses the second attempt, and now it's tipped around. Chaos underneath, and Paul Millsap resets it to Jamal Murray. In a half spin, I'm staying with him step for step, but until Jamal lifts off, I was doing a great job staying in front of him, but he scores again as Denver comes within 3.5 to go. AD wants it in the post on Michael Porter, puts his head down, fakes the drive, gives it out to me. No, that one is just off. Cannot hit my second three of the fourth. 92-91, Denver back in front as Michael Porter switches on to me. That means somebody else has to have a mismatch, and it's Anthony Davis. Let's go, the brow again. Only 17 points for Davis, that's light work. He's had 13 of those, however, in the second half of action. Coming up clutch is the brow, and Jokic, he'll roll off the inverted pick and roll and put it through. Jamal Murray was the pick man, and Jokic, so crafty with the ball in his hands for a big fella, gets it done. And Jokic, who has fought through that shoulder injury for the entirety of this playoff series, hits the three-point play. Denver out in front by 2 with 2:36 left to go. Coach Anthony Thornton, he burns his second to last timeout. Down by 2, New Orleans with 2:30 left to go. Denver after Jokic's and 1. They're going to be in the bonus from here on out. As I drive, I draw a double. Anthony Davis for the lead. That one is just long. Oh, what a back-breaking shot that just rimmed out. So we have to play defense again. A lot of tired legs out there. Let's see if we can come through big. Dig deep right here. Murray drives. Goes back right, and I don't know how he keeps doing it. Things starting to slip away from New Orleans, but I'm keeping my head up down the floor. A quick pass. AD. Book it for the brow. You cannot be serious with that shot. Anthony Davis. Oh my. Ice in his veins, assist number 17 as we're back within 1:46 left to go as Jamal drives and I'm forced to foul. I had to. He was just getting too deep and I fouled him hard enough to prevent any chance at a three-point play. And if you listen closely, I had my MVP chance back in Game 2. Now on the road here in Denver, Jamal Murray has his curtain call in Game 4. He misses the first, only makes 1 of 2 as Aaron Catley makes his re-entry back into the ball game. Hopefully Catley, having some fresh legs here down the stretch, will serve to his and our team's advantage. 10 seconds left to shoot as AD wants to post up, but instead he'll feed it back out to me, running a parallel pick and roll, splitting the Denver defense right between the eyes. Going with a teardrop. That'll bring a tear to your eye as I tie things back up here at 98. For the 11th time tonight, this score is tied. Let's see what Denver has up their sleeve. Not trying to do too much. They go into the post for Jokic, who puts in another one, continuing to work through some stiffness in that shoulder. And that's a nice play right there by Jokic, utilizing the drop step move. Approaching 60 seconds left to go in this game. AD slips, but I'll take it myself. Another huge basket. Back-to-back layups for yours truly. 21 on the night. And for the 12th time now, this game is tied until Jokic. He'll go back door and put it through. Another and 1. Denver pulling out all the stops. And Holmes is in disbelief. Richaun Holmes with a bad foul. And Jokic hits yet another charity stripe shot here in the clutch times of this ball game with 46 left to go. And another tough situation where Anthony Davis says, clear out, I'll take it, let's go. Anthony Davis puts the young blood on a poster. Porter didn't know what hit him. And Davis, we've seen some very clutch performances from him, but this one might be up there near the top of the list. But we still have a lot of work to do before we're done here tonight, including getting a stop. And that's what we force on Jokic's turnaround right there that just rimmed out. Down by 1, an 8-second difference between shot clock and game clock. And Anthony Davis may have Michael Porter on him, but Jokic is actually the one picking me up. And we're going to take this mismatch a lot more advantageous for our offense. 5 seconds left to go. Time to go to work. A little spin move, fading for the lead. It rims out. No, but Richaun Holmes is there to clean the boards for the 10th time tonight. Rebound number 10 for Holmes could not have come at a better time, but how did this lead-taking shot rim out? Swirled around the rim for 2 to 3 rotations, hung on the rim as well, but just could not hit the bottom of the net. 4.7 ticks left to go. Marcos Silva joins the 5 out on the floor, replaces Catley again, and we're going to have the ball sideline inbound. If we can just manage one more basket, we move on to face either the Clippers or the Lakers in round 2 and Denver goes home. But if we can't, then this series goes to a winner-take-all game 5. Immediately off the catch, get into the lane, a scoop, it drops, it goes! New Orleans in front with 0.3 seconds left to go in this ball game. Wow, what a ball game it has been, huh? Another lead change. I've gotten some criticism over my NBA career. Sometimes I make the big plays, sometimes I don't. But recently, Pelicans have gone to me more and more in the clutch these past few years, and more I have delivered. I told myself I was going to take this one hard to the cup and was going to live with the result, make or miss. And it falls. Michael Porter Jr. a little too slow, but we're not done yet. 0.3 seconds left on the clock for Denver. This means that they have time to catch and shoot thanks to the Trent Tucker rule. If teams have at least 0.3 left to go on the clock, they don't have to go for the tip-in. They can catch and they can fire. Paul Millsap, the inbounder, I've got to face guard Jamal Murray, not let him catching it cleanly, as Gary Harris flashed to the ball for the win. It goes! No! Denver has broken out in pandemonium. Oh, what a shot from Gary Harris. And we're going to go to the replay booth. The ref's taking a while, but if this stands, we're going to a winner-take-all game 5. But the refs, they took a long time looking at that monitor. It looked good from the floor, but they got to go to the replay center out in Secaucus, New Jersey to get a second opinion. And all of a sudden it became dead quiet here in Denver. You could hear a pin drop. What will the refs rule? They meet at center court to give their ruling, and it's waved off. Pelicans survive. Whoa, this game 4 had everything you could ask for. Let's take a look at the replay and see what the refs saw. And right there, Gary Harris just in the fingertips, inches away from sending this to a winner-take-all game 5. Just like Harris's shot at the end of the third quarter, just not off in time. 104-103 is your final tonight. 23 points, 18 assists. How about 18 points and 14 assists in the second half on its own accord? That's how you close out a series. 22-13 for AD, and I talked about the unsung heroes tonight. MLS with 16, Hart with 10 off the bench. Otto Porter as consistent as usual, and Richaun Holmes nearly missed out on his third triple-double of the series. Catley struggled a little bit, but he'll be fine, I'm sure, in the next series against the Clippers or the Lakers. Whew, now that our BPMs have come back down to regular numbers, we can finally conclude this crazy episode 55 of the road to NBA 2K21. What a series this was against Denver. Hats off to them. It was a lot of fun, and I'm nothing but excited for the rest of what the series here in the playoffs has to offer in year 4. Stay tuned. We're going to find out if we're playing the Clippers or the Lakers next time out.